Hello, everybody. You're very welcome to this second day of the new Pathways in Improvisation at MDX, coming to you live from Middlesex University in London. I believe now there are over 200 of you registered, which is fantastic. I can't see you, but I know you're there. And you're coming to us from all over the world. So, like I said yesterday, whoever you are, wherever you are, and whenever you are, you're most welcome. We had quite an amazing day yesterday, and I found it personally very inspiring and really edifying. The conversations, the exchanges of information and ideas was just really fulfilling. And today, I believe we're going to have another fascinating day. We're going to have a very interesting mixture. I mentioned yesterday about the importance of not just improvisation, but improvisation in the context of interdisciplinary work, and we're going to see a lot of that today. So the lineup for the first session today, which is the third session on your brochure, is Undefined Pleasures with Olesya Zdorovetska. Keep getting that one wrong. And we have that set up. I'm looking forward to seeing that. So that's a kind of a very interesting theatrical work. And Olesya will be starting with that very soon. And then we follow with Rob Vesti, who teaches here in Middlesex University in the theatre department, but is a dancer as well. And his work is very interesting around movement and voice. And he'll be joined by Kate Ryder, who you met yesterday. Following that, we have Tansy Spinks, who is in our arts department. She's involved with Sonic Arts, and that's going to be a very interesting collaboration between prepared piano, her electric violin, and some visuals. And then it'll be my great pleasure to be playing with the amazing Charlotte Hugg, who you met yesterday, and Nick Roth, who's flying in as we speak. So that's going to close off the first session. The second session will open up with Jonathan Impet and Juan Paracancino, coming live from Ghent, from the Orpheus Institute, and that'll be very interesting discussion and performance on materiality in performance. That's followed by Nick Roth's presentation regarding Flocking 3. Actually, I think he's going to extend that to just generally the notion of translative epistemologies, which is his term, in fact. And we saw a lot of this, how meaning can shift from a musical gesture to, if you like, a painted gesture or a sonic gesture or a physical gesture. So that'll be very interesting. And that'll be followed by a Q&A with everybody involved. And it would be really great to have your input on that. So please do connect with Adam there and through the chat of your Zoom, and we really welcome all your questions, and we'll try and answer them. So that'll go on for as long as it needs to, and then we'll have a very short break, and we're going to have a crazy jam. We don't know what's going to happen, but everybody's here is going to play, dance, do whatever they have to do, and we won't have any boundaries for that. Let's see where that goes. So, like I say, you're all very welcome. I just want to make one or two little points. I didn't thank Victoria Shinkarova yesterday because she was actually giving a paper, and I wanted people to focus on her research and her piece, which we heard yesterday, which was a world premiere, which was fantastic. But Victoria Shinkarova has been effectively the administrator for this event, so I want to thank her. She's put many dozens of hours in that. And yet again, I want to thank the crew, the tech crew, who have been amazing. Aidan Delaney, Mike McGlone, Gareth Cook, Philip Cover, Francisco Batista, and Adam, as I've mentioned, Scotcher, who's on the, and I think I got your name wrong yesterday. Apologies, Adam. So Adam will be interfacing with you through the chat box. I think I've covered everything. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Olesya Zdorovetska. Thank you.
Pleasure. Nothing but having pleasure. More pleased or less pleased, and even have one or another kind of pleasure, yet insofar as it is pleasure we have, whether there'll be more or less of it, and whether it be of one or another kind, what we have is one definite thing, absolutely indefinable, some one thing that is the same in all the various degrees. And all the various kinds of it that there may be, the concept of pleasure, this bipolar construct, this biased nature, it fascinates me. It's intriguing. That experience of total involvement in something, that removal of the mind, removal of the body from its natural, normal place, its complete immersion, far, far from suffering. In this attempt to describe emotions, I fail. I fail again, I fail better. This difficulty suggests that we do not experience, not recognize emotions as isolated entities. We rather recognize emotions as ambiguous and overlapping experiences, lacking discrete borders, similar to the spectrum of color. Color, red, ochre. The first color, red. Blood, passion, heat, seduction, sexuality, eroticism, and immorality. That color that shines in poetry. The symbol of martyrs and sacrifice, passion and danger, power and growth, love. Think of that Plato's ancient common sense of connected pleasure and satisfaction, of felt longing or appetitive desire, epithumia, but also that early scientific speculation equating pleasure with the fulfillment of bodily needs. Body. Not organized toward a purpose or function, a deterritorialized body, body potency, corpus, not body instrument or else musical instrument. Are musical instruments actually instruments? Are they not amplified bodies, odd and resonant? Define. Well, to define, to be a statement of the essence of a thing. All things have such an essence, an idea, a form. Form organize matter, make it intelligible. Forms are the source of order, unity, identity, information, but an essence characterizes a form. An essence characterizes a form. Things, people, and events have invisible essences. That makes us what we are. Our understanding of the physical and social words and worlds is instinctive and it's universal. So which pleasure am I talking about then? What am I trying to define, or rather undefine here? Am I alone in the world other than myself? Sense opens up in silence. Perhaps to give it a name would find space and place on the crossroads. Perhaps to give it a name. Perhaps overlapping layers of umwelt, performer, instrument, audience, with anchored sensibility in unity, withdrawn from the moment. Impossible unity. Perhaps internalized childhood worlds of pleasure, touching trees, that sense of invisible, of impossible hugs, touching keys, dancing with blacks and whites. Think of bonds, multiple, shifted, questioned, reserved perspectives. Think of affection, the fascination, the connection. At the early age, we tend not to distinct or define this as real or unreal, real or unreal. Here to reality. I think of Jung's theory, the underlying primary psychic reality, which is so inconceivably complex that it can be grasped only at the farthest reach of intuition and very dimly. It needs symbols. It seems as we're vainly seeking our own existence and making a philosophy out of it. Only through an experience of symbolic reality we can find our way back to a world in which we are no longer strangers. Symbol. Bloodstream, sound flow, poetic reminiscence of existence, the fluid sculpture of me now. Certain of the nothingness of this other, it explicitly affirms that this nothingness is for it the truth of the other. It destroys the independent object and thereby gives itself the certainty of itself. The self-certainty suggesting that instrument has its own independence and the desire as well. But this distortion between the selves, experiencing self and this reliable remembering self, question mark, juxtaposing impossibility and unity. Sound is first of all communication here. At first, it communicates nothing except itself. Then the idea of sonorous comes in play here. It comes in play as an intensification of seeing, perhaps, a placing intention of presence, those relationship of tension, the irresistible. I want to find communication in the incommunicable, perhaps. I want to find, perhaps, I want to make an echo of the self, of the other. It's all one. It's all one in the plural. And with the words of Jean-Luc Nancy to conclude. Communication is not transmission, but a sharing that becomes subject. Sharing as a subject of all subjects, an unfolding, a dance, a resonance, in a body that opens up and closes at the same time, that arranges itself and exposes itself with the others. The noise of its sharing resounds. Perhaps the cry in which the child is born. Perhaps an even older resonance in the belly and from the belly of a mother.